Hello, welcome. My name is San. This is a reading today for Virgo. There are no dates on my readings. I trust that when they find you, if they resonate, then they're yours at that time. I just got myself a new swivel chair, so I might be a little bit antsy in my seat today. I got a bigger desk so I can spread out my cards and have more cards. So let's see how things go. Virgo, we're doing your reading with a blend of decks. You'll see a mix of several in your spread today. So we're starting with the Eight of Wands, which is a really fast moving energy. It's coming cross country. I just got off the phone call with somebody. I just got off a phone call with somebody that I haven't seen in over 20 years. A very brief encounter, a friend that I made while I was out on tour. And I just got off the phone call with them and they're thinking about coming across Canada to see me. So maybe they will come by train. Who knows? And then the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords underneath that is talking about interesting phenomenon that you're witnessing that may not be explainable. Okay, so let's apply this to you, Virgo, because it's not about me. I'm not a Virgo. So it's talking about that you may be experiencing things in your life that you haven't experienced in quite some time, but the way that they're coming around this time is different than last time, and it's got that high strangeness quality to it. What's that called? Uncanny Valley. Uncanny Valley, though, I think talks about AI, so I don't think that we're talking about AI. Now I can't remember which was the bottom of the deck. Is it the Eight of Cups is the bottom of the deck, or is this the bottom of the deck? The Knight of Swords. Okay, so this is fascinating because I flipped my cards over. I'm not sure which one was the bottom of the deck, but we'll take both of them because it looks like somebody's leaving and somebody is following them. Somebody's chasing behind them. So maybe that's what this is talking about with this train across the country. You know, Canada is a very big country. We've got Via Rail that goes from coast to coast, I believe. It definitely goes from Vancouver to Toronto, that's for sure. So there's something about that, about traveling a long, long distance in order to catch up with somebody that you haven't seen in a long time. Or maybe it hasn't even been that long. Maybe this is a fresh separation. This is a okay, separation is not the right word though, because I don't feel like we're talking about a breakup. I don't think. I mean, maybe we are. There's definitely indication of that here in the cards that are already on the table. You do have the Ten of Swords here, but it's associated to this King of Swords. So there's a King of Swords that is feeling like maybe things have gone awry. Maybe things have gone off track. All this train reference and metaphor. The thing about the train, the great thing about the train as opposed to a plane, for example, or opposed to just crossing the street and knocking on somebody's door, the great thing about a train ride is that it takes time. So there could be something really significant about that, about the fact that the timing is significant, meaning the time away or the time apart is significant. Okay, so we will get into the cards in a moment. I am still going to pull an overall energy from what we've forgotten, the Oracle. I got a new chair and a new desk. So my new desk is like these cards. Okay, I'm not going to use these cards. These cards, I love them. Maybe I'll just cut them. These cards, I love them, but they're too big for my hands, so I can't shuffle them properly. So I'm just going to cut the deck. The Prophet, I knew he was going to come out. I knew he was going to come out. Why did I know that? There's something about, and it's like I've known it for 24 hours now, that when I got a card from the What We've Forgotten Oracle, it was going to be the Prophet. This guy is like somebody you've known from high school. He's somebody you knew from high school that's reemerging now. So all this talk about somebody from the past, but the fascinating thing is the cards that are on the table, I thought it was talking about a fresh experience. This is like a fresh breakup or a fresh pause in a relationship, or just a fresh distance, because it doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be heartbreak or something unwanted. It could just be that one of you has gone on a trip. One of you is having an extended weekend with girlfriends, for example, or boyfriends. You see what I mean? It doesn't have to be a breakup. It's just a fresh pause. But all these cards that are coming out at the beginning here are talking about the past in a really powerful way. So maybe this could be talking about something that is repeating. You maybe have known this person for 20, 30 years, because that's what this card talks to me about. I know it says prophet, but because of my own symbols and my own situation, this card actually talks about somebody that you've known in high school that suddenly just pops up on your doorstep. And they're in alignment with you, and so a relationship ensues of some sort, whether it's just picking up where you left off, or it's discovering something new about the person that you didn't know, and then the big pictures underneath that, an adventure, the big picture, and then okay, I gotta stop at that. Ancestors, okay. So this guy, whoever he is, whether it's connected to you or not, I mean, it is connected to you because of the big picture. The big picture is that he's connected to you, obviously. Otherwise, he couldn't reappear. And the adventure card, there's something about a newly ignited adventure, perhaps coming through this character. The reason he's the prophet, I want to say, I'll just get that out of the way. The reason he's the prophet, you can see on the card it says prophet, is because he knows stuff. So he's very tuned in. He's very spiritually connected, whether he knows it or not. His intuition is true. Okay, so that's who we're talking about. His intuition is true. That feels like it might be part of the title of the reading if it's not the title. His intuition is true. But you only know that because your intuition is true. And so when you get two people together that have strong intuition, adventure ensues. And so that's why if there's a break in it in any way, it's not wanted. I want to say by either party. I mean, she's not happy to be walking away, and he's not happy to be chasing. I'm not going to get into runner chaser dynamics, because if you've been on my channel for a while, you know how I feel about the whole twin flame narrative. So I won't get into it, but people have relationships that have a lot of ups and downs. But I'm going to try to avoid to use the word twin flame. I'm not seeing anything twinny, or twin-like here on the table, I don't think. Not yet, anyway. Because just because I'm not into the twin flame narrative doesn't mean that it's not a thing for people and that it's not a true experience. I don't mean to be disrespectful in any way. It's just not something that I've experienced or that I know that much about. And it just seems like a huge hassle. And I know that you're all saying, yeah, clearly, San, it's a huge hassle. It's more than that. It's heartbreak and devastation, but it's also the highest highs, right? Okay, so let's get into it. Enough about what I believe. So we're starting with the Six of Pentacles and the Emperor. And it's referencing back to what I want to say, maybe it was the Aries reading, the first reading I did when I got back to my channel, where somebody is watching. Very clearly that Emperor is watching the is it Six of Pentacles? The White King's Plum Cake is what it says at the bottom of the card. That's not significant to me. But the Six of Pentacles talks about somebody who's got it together, okay? So I want to say this is you, Virgo. You're the one who's got it together. You're the Pentacles realm. You got it together, but there's an Emperor who is watching you, just like this. Well, it's a little bit different than this, obviously, because this is a bit of a runner-chaser type of thing, or somebody's on their way somewhere and somebody else is not enjoying that. Or you can actually change it and say that they actually enjoy you so much that they want to be involved. You may or may not know that. You may or may not know, okay, this is how I'm enjoying this better. I'm enjoying this story better. You may or may not know that somebody who is around you enjoys you more than you realize. Because they're keeping it, I mean, he's wearing goggles. You can't see his eyes. So he's keeping it under wraps. And because of that, there may be a bit of distrust here. Because both of these cards give me signals that I would distrust. The Prophet being, I almost said the word revolutionary, which is not at all what I was trying to say. The Prophet being somebody who's reemerging in your life from the past. I'm always cautious about that. But also this card, because of the green coloring in it, it makes me think of shapeshifter energy. But just because somebody's a shapeshifter doesn't mean that they have ill intention. Just because somebody's a prophet. Okay, this is the thing. It's just like tarot cards. They're just a tool that can be used for good or for evil. So just because somebody has some form of ability or some form of gift doesn't mean that they can't be trusted. And just because somebody's coming from the past doesn't mean that they can't be trusted. Doesn't mean they can be trusted. You just have to use your discernment. But with the 10 of Cups and the King of Cups coming up next, I feel like there's a lot of happiness around them. But they're saying there's a lot of happiness around you. And now I'm noticing the adults and the children here. So this is something that goes back in the past. So I feel like these are, okay, it's something like this is how it used to be in the past when you were younger. There was more drama perhaps. But now it's matured. Things are mature now. He's matured or they've matured, and so have you. And they're back or they're behind your back. Not in a bad way, but in a way that they're being discreet in their observation of you. Because they really like you, is how it's coming through. So somebody really likes you, and it may be somebody that you've known for a long time. And if it's not somebody that you've known for a long time, it doesn't have to be this like high school. It's because it looks like a high school yearbook picture to me. That's why I say that. And it's somebody who has gifts but doesn't know what to do with them yet, because he's young here, right? But here, this King of Swords, they're not young anymore, right? So that's the thing. What was I going to say? Just because somebody has gifts that maybe doesn't know how to wield them yet or how to work with them yet doesn't mean that they're not trustworthy. It just means that they may surround themselves with symbols that they're kind of ignorant of. So I'll just leave that there. You can read in your own symbols and signals and sigils. Somebody who works with sigils may not realize that they're working with sigils. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so 10 of Cups and the King of Cups is actually your energy. Well, the King of Cups is your energy, just meaning that you're that person that, it's not the same as Kramer. I'm always talking about Kramer as somebody who bursts into the room and gets everybody's attention. That's not, your energy is more like you're occupying a space. You're commanding a space just with a gentle presence and a gentle heart. It's humility and integrity that you have. Everywhere you go, there's an energy that moves with you that is very congruent. Is that the right word? It's like that heart math energy. It's like your heart is in alignment. Your energy is true. Your word is true. You have integrity. And the 10 of Cups is just referring to the relationship. In the Page of Discs. Okay, so this is fascinating. Okay, you see here how the Emperor is the Emperor. Okay, he's a big deal, but he's not saying it. So I want to say he's humble like you are. And he's just witnessing and watching what you're doing, and he is not communicating it. Because now he's mature and he knows. I'll just leave it at that. He's mature and he knows. But when he steps in front of you, he turns into a page. A shape-shifting page. Page of Discs. Because he wants to be at your level. Which is, level's not the right word. But he wants to, how do I describe this? He knows he's powerful, or he knows that he knows stuff, or he knows that he's gifted. I'm just saying he because it's easier. You can fill in the story however it fits for you. So he knows, and he knows you, and he knows himself. And he's around you for some reason. He might not even know what it is. It could be one of those, he just spontaneously picked up the phone, or he just spontaneously got on a train or got in his car and ended up at your door because of all of this energy here. It could be you could have left 20 years ago, and now he's here knocking on the door 20 years later because he has patience and humility and integrity. It's not a runner chaser. It's somebody moved on and it was accepted, and now a spontaneous conversation is potentially about to be had here. We're 14 minutes in. Okay, so he's coming to you humbly is what I want to say. With the 4 of Cups and the 5 of Cups coming up next, I want to say this is your energy, interestingly, that, well, it's just kind of coming through that you've been bored lately. That you are looking for adventure. It's the whole reason that this is coming in. if this is resonating with you, I feel like if this is for you, I feel like you already know who I'm talking about. Like they've already called, or they've already texted, or they've already showed up on the porch, or at your doorstep. They've already arrived. This isn't necessarily something that's coming next week or next month. I feel like it's already in your awareness, I believe. So, but the reason why it's here is because you're looking for something to do, in a sense. Because that's what this Four of Cups is telling me, is that you're just kind of, you've got your thing going on. It's like you've got your routine, you've got your schedule, you've got your life, but nothing really flamboyant or exciting has happened recently. Everything is very mellow and chill. But the interesting thing is, this person is mellow and chill too. You're both very mellow and chill individuals. But because the big picture has the adventure card coming with it, I feel like the bigger picture is perhaps the two of you are going to walk into adventure together. Okay, we've already covered this King of Swords and the Ten of Swords. I feel like that's a past energy, or it's something that still needs to be talked about, is however things went down in the past, good or bad, it will be talked about, because this person is a serious intellectual. Look at all the symbols he's got. He's got an owl, a bat, a dragonfly, and a crow. And that's just the energy, and of course his sword. And he is leaning back. He's not rushing. He's taking his time. So he's exceptionally wise intellectual, okay? So even if something did go down in the past, I feel like there's no hard feelings anymore. I mean, look at the Queen of Pentacles coming up next. This is how he's seeing you. Everybody is just so everybody's so chill in this reading. I mean, Virgo can be chill. Virgo is Virgo. I won't get into what Virgo is because I don't like to stereotype people. But it's showing me a very chill individual who's coming together with another really relaxed, and I almost said the word secretive, but it's not secretive. It's just private. A very private, or just somebody that has a lot of discretion, discernment, and integrity. So it's a well-matched energy with the Judgment card coming up next. Maybe there's the twinning energy there with the two X's and the Judgment. And the two people at the bottom. Okay. So if we're going to talk about twins, that's where it comes in here. Is this card, you see the two figures in the foreground that are standing with their arms raised up, receiving their judgment. I almost feel like they're separated, but they're coming together now because this is the moment of judgment. This is the moment where the relationship gets judged or the individuals get judged. But it's almost as if, so that's the reason why the prophet, or this emperor, which is the same person, I'm just calling him, he's the emperor prophet. The prophet emperor, the emperor prophet. The reason why this one is appearing back in your life now, or it could even just be back in your dreams or back in your thoughts. It's like they haven't been on your radar for a long time, and all of a sudden here they are in whatever form. But the reason that that's happening is because of this judgment. The relationship is being judged, or the way you treated each other is being judged, or it's the time for judgment in whatever form that plays out. And the Fool and the Temperance card, because it's time for a restart, because the energy is so balanced. So you could have both come into balance separately. I mean, when this went down years ago, for example, maybe it was off balance. Maybe it's the reason why you had to leave. But now with this Temperance energy and the Empress, see, now we got the Emperor and the Empress. He's like, it's like he's seeking his Empress kind of thing. Because the Temperance is in the middle, and the Emperor and the Empress are here. And this Empress was in, I want to say it was the Leo reading in a really powerful way. But what I'm noticing even more, and is kind of taking over the imagery here, is this Temperance card. It looks like a giant eyeball to me. So maybe he hasn't spoken yet, because I was talking about his goggles and the fact that his mouth is starting to open, but he hasn't said it yet. Because in this card, he hasn't said anything, but this could have been a past energy. He's considering. He spends a lot of time thinking and not a lot of time talking. But that's not completely true. Once he starts talking, it's a beautiful conversation. Okay, so I love this energy. Whoever this is, I'm loving this energy. But he doesn't say much. He's in the background and he's watching. It's like this is the reflection of you in his eye, the apple of his eye, his beloved. But you see what I'm talking about, right? This is like a giant eye. It's like zooming into one eye and seeing the reflection of the Empress. The Empress is reflected in his eye. Because how could you not be? I mean, look at that. It's a stunning, stunning energy. It's a stunning image to behold. So that's what he's doing. And then the Eight of Discs. It's like he's watching you work. Because that's where you started. With the Six of Pentacles and now the Eight of Pentacles. It's like he's watching you. Look at all the light around you. It's like you work with light. And he's fascinated by that. Because you're radiant. Okay, I think we're going to leave it there. I'm going to continue to pull cards and create an extended. So what's going on with this extendeds, I'm going to continue to put them on my website, santero.com. But I'm also exploring either Patreon or Vimeo. Apparently, Vimeo has gone back on their doxing legislation. So if that's true, and if I still have access to my old Vimeo account, I'm going to post this on Vimeo and just go old school Vimeo. So the link to the description will be in the link to the extended will be in the description box. And otherwise, I will see you next time, Virgo. Thanks. Bye.